Probably should have fixed my hair before I did this. Oh well, maybe I'll do that next time. Hi, and welcome to Average American Hi-Fi. So for Christmas last year, it's 2026 right now. It is February 4th, 2026. And this past Christmas, about midway through the year last year in 2025, my oldest son, he's 22 now, lives in Colorado and is married. He asked for a hi-fi stereo system, something we could afford, and they were moving into a new place, and he didn't have anything to listen to. He had a turntable and really nothing to listen to, which actually isn't true. He had PreSonus speakers, which one of the YouTube videos I listened to said is one of the worst speakers he's ever heard. So clearly he needed something new. And he just said, whatever dad would do, whatever he would get for me. And right off the bat, I'm relatively old, higher than the median age in the country, which is 38. I'm 10 years older than that. And all the stuff I knew, the audio stuff I have is rather aged. And, you know, Denon, Yamaha, I know, Bowers and Wilkins, Paradigm, Phase Tech, Mission, Marantz, Rotel. These are all the brands and companies that come to mind when I think of that. And to start research on what to get him for Christmas, like, you know what? I'm going to start as if I know nothing. I'm going to start research in what is the best for him, for where he's going to live, the room he's going to be in, the funds we have available. And I started my search and I had no idea. I found so many companies and brands I had never heard of. And then, of course, I started seeing ads pop up everywhere, YouTube video suggestions. So then I fell into so many channels, most of which I subscribed to, you know, things like Cheap Audio Man, Hi-Fi Huff. Those two are some of my favorite. Love Paul McGowan with PS Audio, Audiophiliac, Steve Gutenberg. Those are all great channels. I've already learned so much, and I thought I knew something enough. So basically, in the search to get what's best for my son, I went down a rabbit hole and now have a list of things I want and to replace. And that's kind of the reason I thought of doing this, not just as a channel, because I'm not going to make their own channel. This is just, it's got my name on it. And I'm just calling kind of this video series Average American Hi-Fi because my wife and I, we've been married just over 25 years. We fall right there. I say average American. In reality, it's median American. It's just that I don't like how that sounds. But if you're curious, and I keep looking down at my computer because it's got some stuff on it. I already said the median age in America is 38. The median household income is 83,700, which it was higher than I thought it was going to be. The median home sale price, I think in 25 or 24, was $415,000. We bought the house I'm sitting in back in 2011, I believe, for like 150. And it's worth slightly more than that, or so they say now. Median home size, 2,200 square feet, which is after we finished the basement years ago. That's exactly what this home is. Point being, we seem to be right smack in the middle of what's described as a median American, which I'm calling average American, which isn't exactly correct. Because how do we take the funds we have available to build something we enjoy listening to? And so I made a plan. I'm going to share the plan with you, share what I've got. There'll be several videos in this, I hope. If some people watch it, great. If not, great. This is also for me because I need a hobby and no one around me really wants me to talk about this stuff. That's not true. My wife does listen to me. It's not a dialogue. It's a monologue. I talk about it and she doesn't exactly know what I'm talking about. So I'll tell you whether you care or not or understand. So I'm not going to share I have an inexpensive audio system list, a quote dream system, yet realistic, and then this other list that is probably never going to happen, and it's fine if it doesn't. Probably too late for me to be drinking coffee. But so my plan, because like I said, we're media in America here, but it is doable. My plan is to put $25 a week, which isn't a little amount to us. That's $100 to $125 a month, into a savings account that is strictly to be used for a future audio system that I want. Some things I'm going to be able to buy pretty soon. I'll go through the list in the next video. The more expensive dream system, but doable. This is going to take 2 to 3 years to save up for that. The other reason I'm doing the video is to hold me accountable to that. But before we get to that, part of not just saving $25 a week, but also selling equipment I have as I get things that replace them. So let's go over that real quick. If you're curious, I'm going to show you anyway. If you're not curious, then you can just stop the video here. Equipment I do have. You know what? Let's jump back to the equipment I started with. I was admittedly a spoiled 18 to 20-year-old and spoiled child. But I was 18 or 19 years old. I worked in a home theater store where we did sell Denon, Rotel, Macintosh, Paradigm, Phase Tech, Bang & Olufsen. So at the time, again, rather spoiled from my parents. Yeah, there was a discount because I worked at the place, but I ended up over time with a pair of Definitive Technology BP 2002s. For movies, they're fantastic. For music, they're bipolar. Anyway, so left, center, right there, plus the rear channels. A Denon, I believe it was an AVR 5600 receiver. Monster. God, it was a heavy brick of a receiver. And Rotel CD player and things like that. So right off the bat, early on, I was pretty spoiled. It's nowhere near what I've got now. I was selling those things as the years went on. I got married, we had kids, and we needed money, so I sold things. Now, and it's one of them sitting right next to me. So what I've got now, I do have a home theater room, listening room, for what it's worth, and it's right through that door over there where I'll sit and listen to music 3-4 hours at a time, and I love it. That's the important part of hi-fi audio to me is, man, if you're getting enjoyment out of it, that's awesome, and I am. Except now I've watched so many videos, there's things I'm seeing, and they're talking about things, and I'm moving things around and redoing a little bit, and I am hearing a difference, and now I'm like, okay. As an example, the Bowers and Wilkins, what are these? The DM601 S1s. They're not light. These things, so are my front left, right, and they're 30 years old. I inherited them from my father. I say inherited, that sounds wrong. He is still alive. He passed them on to me when he got something else for the house he and my mother moved into. So I've got a pair of those with the center channel that goes with them. As my rears in that room, which I'm going to switch for these to be my front, left, right when we move in June. But I've got, what are these? The Bowers and Wilkins DM302. I had to look up pictures of these things. There's the Bowers and Wilkins logo on the bottom, but on the back, check out the back. You'll have to look these up. The DM302, what they did internally, that has to be a mold. But what they did internally with this to control the resonance in here is I think it's awesome and amazing. But these are, as an example, sensitivity on these I believe is 90 dB. These other ones I think it's 84 or 85, so these are much easier to drive. So I've got those over here. I've got equipment, but they're old. I think both of those are 30 years old. These aren't as old. They're okay. I have them on our main level. This is our basement. What are these? They're the DefTech Pro Monitor 1000s. They're all right. They have the radiator on top that I'm not crazy about, but for what it is, they're fine. Now, other than that, other stuff I've got is that monitor right there that you're seeing in the picture, because this camera just moves automatically. I do love these. Are these the Fidelio? Yeah, the Philips Fidelio. I love these headphones. I don't know if they're technically any good, but I really, really enjoy them. And then I have some super cheap $20 speakers on my desk. But point being, I do have stuff to listen to music. I'm going to sell some of this along the way as I save money for what I'd like to replace this stuff with. You know, driving that room in there is a Denon AVR S570 BT. I'm sure the BT is just Bluetooth. It was super cheap. It's just what I could get at the time. I needed to drive something to drive these things when they were given to me. It sounds okay. I enjoy it. I don't even stream Bluetooth to it. I pull the HDMI ARC from my TV, which we're not going to talk about why that's not good. But and then upstairs on the main level, Onkyo TX NR646, which actually I was gonna put down here to replace the Denon. I put that Onkyo down here to run these Bowers and Mochas. It sounded horrible. It was just the high end hurting my ears. I hated it, so switched it back to the Denon, which was much smoother to me. Not that that means anything, but again, a lot of this is just your preference and what you enjoy listening to. But all that to say, I'm an average American who adores music, love listening to it. Oh, and I left some speakers out. I'm sorry. It's sitting right down here, and I completely left it out. It's in JBL Eon. What is this? The JBL Eon 610. So that's big, and it's actually just my floor monitor. Because we are kind of musicians. We do our best, but that might come into play once we get down the road and talk about my somewhat dream system, but might be doable. I so much love live music and playing live music and everything. That probably comes into play with what so far I've chosen to purchase over time, which I'm sure will change as time goes on. If any of you watch this and make comments and I keep watching things, I'm sure my stuff will change from time to time. Now, to get back to my son, we did get him for Christmas a little stereo system. And they were both brands and companies I was completely unaware of. Fosi Audio I was completely unaware of. Wharfdale I was not completely unaware of, but I just had never looked at them, never considered them. So what we got my son was the Fosi Audio MC311. I think that's right. And if it's wrong, I'll correct it on the screen. And Wharfdale Diamond 220s, I believe they are. Again, if I'm wrong, I'll fix it on the screen. And so this is what it looks like. This is how he's got it set up. He's got his little turntable, that Fosi Audio amp running stuff. Now his turntable has a built-in phono preamp. But yeah, he loves it. He adores it. Sits and listens to music, I think, on a daily basis. And it's a start. And that really got me into thinking and just really the bug biting me on it's time to get back into this and start moving forward. And that's what I love about the inexpensive system list I put together, which I'll share in the next video. But it can be built over time. It can be expanded. It can be upgraded over time. So that's what I plan on doing. And I plan on doing it at $25 a week. That's not fully true because I did have a stipulation when I made the spreadsheet that I'm going to add $1 to that every 2 weeks. So it's a lot by the end of the year. By the end of the year, it's $58 a week, it hurts. Which also means I got to start making more money this year and figure out a way to do it. But I have goals, things I'm going to buy, and I hope you enjoy me on the journey. And I'll see you in the next video.